Hi everybody and welcome to today's video. I have a really fun video for you guys today, a fun idea to try out. And what makes today super exciting for me is that I get to work with a new kit. So here's just one paper from the kit. It is really gorgeous. I just printed copy paper double-sided for today's project. This kit, we actually did a really unique and exciting collaboration with a wonderful shop, Emily Designs 14, and I'll have her shop linked in the description of this video, and I'll have this set, all of the wonderful sets. There's a ton of them. There's a paper set and some add-on kits, I think words and tags. I want to say I might be missing something, but either way, gorgeous collection, super fun to work with, especially if you're gonna like the faded, grungy, true vintage type of a look, then you'll love this kit. But we're gonna get started on the video, and if you have other supplies at home that you want to use, feel free to do so. But again, I will link this exact collection in the description of this video. So for today's video, you're going to need a rectangle cut out. I just printed mine on 8.5 by 11, and I'm going to be cutting it down. So I have the measurements here. We have 21 by 14 centimeters, or if you like inches, we have 8.25 inches by 5.5 inches. This specific project is not incredibly exact, so meaning that you don't need to have it exactly cut that way. It can be pretty close and it'll turn out very similar. And then I did print it on regular weight copy paper, double-sided, with two of the papers that I thought looked good together. This kind of cream neutral butterfly paper, with this brown stamped paper. And I almost want to say this has a little bit of purple in it too, which is gorgeous. And then you'll see the blue on the edges up here. Really fun paper. So we're going to start by cutting it. I'm going to grab, I feel like the easiest way for me to usually cut it is to measure it. So we'll do the 21 centimeters along the bottom here, but on the long side, I'll do the 21 centimeters. I'm trying to get in these butterflies. I don't know if we'll be able to see it in the final pocket, but I do love the butterflies. So for me, I just usually will mark one time and grab my cutter, and then just make sure the paper's pressed against the little marks so that it's a parallel cut, not crooked. So that's my 21. And then again, 14 centimeters if you need those measurements again. Here they are. So I gotta do the 14, which is gonna be down this way. Oops. There we go. Line it up and cut. These papers from this kit make the most gorgeous scraps. Like, definitely hold on to them and use them in other projects. Alright, now that you have your rectangle, you can ink at this step if you would like. Speaking of, I have no idea where my ink brush is. To be so honest with you guys, this had fallen behind my desk and it took me a couple minutes to find. But I'm going to ink my rectangle on both sides just to make it easier later. You can do this process later if you want, or not at all. I like to do it now. Now comes our folding, and there is one thing I want to mention. If you have a designed paper, like I have words and I have this butterfly here, then you might consider turning it upside down like so, because we are going to eventually fold a pocket up like that. And I want my pocket to have right side up designs. So keep that in mind. I'm going to turn mine this way. I'm putting the dark paper on the inside, light paper on the outside. And our first step is to just fold it in half. And again, put it inside out if that works best for you. At the end of the day, it won't really matter because I will be embellishing it a lot, so it's not a huge deal. Alright, after you have folded it in half, you're going to unfold it in half. I'm going to hurry and just add an ink line. You guys do not need to do this step, but I like to do it so you guys can kind of see better what I'm doing on camera. But in person, you should be able to do it just fine. So you can see my middle ink line. You're going to grab each edge and fold it past about 1 centimeter. Again, this does not have to be exact, so it's anywhere from 1 centimeter to like ½ an inch that you want to fold it past that line. I'll show you a close-up in a second. So you can see here that the middle line is like right, come on now. I don't know the best way to show you. I'm sure you guys know what I mean, but there's my centimeter middle line, and I just folded it past about 1 centimeter. And I'm going to do the exact same thing on the other side. To get this right, I'm just going to take my time to try and make sure it's pretty even, and I'm folding about the same on each side, like that. And then you can go ahead and open it. Easy peasy. I'm going to, again, ink my lines because it is easier to demonstrate. So now you can very clearly see my lines, which I think is helpful. Our next step is to fold up about 1/3 of the way. The best way to kind of estimate is you're going to fold your line, and this cream colored paper should look to be about the same size as this little section here, and that means you have about 1/3. It does not have to be exact, again. Totally okay if it's not exact. And that will be just fine. That will work great. You could even do it a bigger fold, a smaller fold, whatever is easiest. So let's open it up and see what we have. You can kind of see all these things coming together. That is the majority of our main folds. We have a couple more to do, and I'm going to show you guys. So for this part, you're going to either need a glue stick or some art glitter glue. This is my art glitter glue, and this is my glue stick. I love them both. And today I'm going to be using my Scotch permanent glue stick. These are the best glue sticks. They hold forever. They're great. Really, really great. You are going to fold your corner down. You can see I'm doing it on that fold line exactly like that. And do the same thing on the opposite side. Try and get it as good of a fold as you can. And then you can either cut that little corner off, or I'm using really thin copy paper, and so I can totally glue it and it won't make too much of a difference. But if you are using a thicker piece of paper, I would just cut these little triangles off. Meanwhile, I'm just going to glue it down. It's wonderful. Perfect, and that's what that's looking like. Our next step, you're going to need some scissors, which all my tools are under my desk. I don't know how this happened. Okay, it's okay. Here are my scissors, pink, and we're going to cut right here and right here. And you don't want to cut your rectangles off. You literally are just going to cut on your fold line as best as you can, all the way to where they intersect, and do the same thing on the other side. Just like that. And then I'm also going to glue these in. You can cut them off, but for this step I actually recommend gluing them in because it's good to have a little bit extra strength. We're going to double up these pages and add a little strength to them because this will become a pocket and I want it to be strong and durable. Okay, at this point we're going to start folding everything in. Here's kind of where we're going with it. Kind of cute, right? You could do a lot of things at this point. really. So just what I'm going to show you is just one idea. Once you have this shape, there really is like a lot of things you can do. I'm going to start by getting my art glitter glue here, moving everything to the side, and I'm just going to be gluing down the bottom edge because I want this pocket to just be a big, beautiful pocket. So we'll do this. Wait, pause. I have an idea. This is actually where you should be inking before you glue down all your items. Just ink where it's going to be visible, so like that will be great. And this is going to get folded up for me, so I actually don't need to ink all the way down. And then again, just glue that bottom piece. And on this last flap, this one right here on the bottom, you can actually totally leave it open as a flip flap and do some really fun things with that. Or you can glue down the two sides and turn it into another pocket for like a layered pocket look. That's what I'm going to do. I just love, like, as you're junk journaling, I know there's a million different like directions you could take something. So it's always fun to see what you guys come up with and hear about it. And feel free to just be creative and do what you want and just use this as a guideline. Okay, so here's what we have right now. It's a very simple, gorgeous little pocket, and I'm going to embellish it. So most of the video is actually done. The embellishing part is just however you would like to do it. This specific kit, the Pastel Delight kit, comes with the most beautiful, colorful add-on kits, words, everything. So I'm going to be having some fun with all the cute pieces in the kit. Oh my goodness, they're just gorgeous. I cut out a few of my favorites for this part of the kit, and I'm just going to have some fun, see what happens. And I'll just probably put this portion of the video in a sped up version. And maybe you can just get some ideas from how I decide to embellish it. So let's get to it. Okay, and that is the finished piece. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. I'll have the kit link in the description of this video. The charms that you saw are actually going to be available soon, so keep that in mind. We are doing a drop. It will be our last drop of the year. We might do a small one in November. We're doing a big clearance drop, and it's going to be really fun. Last time we sold out of most of our things, so I assume the same will happen. So if you are worried about it, make sure that you stay in the loop of our newsletter, which is in the description of this video. Our social medias, we'll try and announce the official drop date then, and you guys can get your hands on some fun items. But most importantly, just craft with what you have and find joy and be happy. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in our next video. Goodbye.